Welcome into the Hang Time Podcast. I'm your host, Sekou Smith, here in the bubble in Orlando. NBA playoff action, wild as always. None better than Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Boston Celtics and Toronto Raptors. A crazy finish. Just when you think the Celtics have the game won in a commanding 3-0 lead off a beautiful dime pocket pass from Kemba Walker to Daniel Theis for a dunk and a lead, Raptors get an opportunity, an inbounds play. Kyle Lowry throwing the pass in across the court over the outstretched arms of Tacko Fall, all 7'6" of the tallest man in the NBA. And it finds OG Anunoby in the corner for a beautiful fingertips three to win the game. The Celtics, of course, were crushed. An opportunity to go up 3-0 in the series vanishes in an instant. Jaylen Brown, the defender, who's flying at Anunoby as he lets go of that shot. And today on the Hang Time Podcast, we're going to listen to the reactions of both sides, Jaylen Brown's and Anunoby's, on the play that stuck out in Game 3.
Jaylen, you said you took responsibility for that last play. What do you think you should have done differently? And with the Gasol situation, what's the calculation between stopping him and then getting out to OG?
It's just a miscommunication. Can't give up a three at the end of the game. You know, they made a remarkable shot. It's a f***ing disgrace. It's terrible. No excuse for it. Can't take your foot off the gas at all. We got to be ready to play game 4.
Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics with some pointed words, pointing the finger at himself, accepting the responsibility for not covering that space the way he should have. We need to point out the Celtics were in a zone in that out-of-bounds play. So Brad Stevens, of course, should be, questioned for why they were in that set. And granted, they had been in zone at times throughout the second half of that game. But the move to have Tacko Fall guarding the inbounds pass and the fact that Kyle Lowry threw it in, 6'1" Kyle Lowry throwing that ball over a 7'6". And I've seen Tacko Fall in person. I don't know how tall 7'6" looks on anybody else, but he might even be taller than that. I would love somebody to check. But again, just an unbelievable finish to a fantastic game. You heard Jaylen Brown talking about how it was unacceptable and how poorly that play was handled on the Celtics end. Let's take a listen to OG Anunoby and his reaction and explanation for what went down on what might turn out to be the biggest play of this series to date based on how it changes things.
How did you stay so cool after such a big ball?
Because when I shot, I expected to make it. So, I don't shoot trying to miss. Every shot I shoot, I try to make it. So, I was going to act surprised because I wasn't surprised.
Spoken like a real shooter. The confidence you would expect. A guy who, if you remember, wasn't healthy during the Raptors' run to a championship last year, so he didn't get to do the things I'm sure he wanted to for that Raptors team last year, but comes up with a shot that basically saves the Raptors season. If they go down 3-0 in that series, you have a hard time seeing them rebound and come back and have a chance to compete and survive to get to the conference finals. That shot, and you have to check it out. Get on NBA.com, take a look at the shot. That last sequence is something people will be talking about, I'm sure. No matter what happens the remainder of the series, that shot will be an iconic shot in Raptors, history. The other part about it, too, that really sticks out is that 0.5 seconds that was left totally negates what would have been a magical finish for the Celtics. Kemba Walker dribbles through traffic, gets in the lane, draws 3 defenders, and drops a beautiful pocket pass to Daniel Theis for what looked like it was the game-winning points for the Celtics. Game-winning play by Kemba, beautiful, ability to weave through traffic. Smallest guy on the court makes that pass. Theis gets the dunk. Celtics think they got it won, but they left too much time on the clock, and Nick Nurse comes up with the ideal out-of-bounds set. Again, Anunoby hits that shot. Game over. We have a series. So there's a reason you can't take your eyes off NBA basketball in the bubble down here in Orlando. That game, that finish to Game 3 of this series, these conference semifinals between the Celtics and the Raptors is why. Make sure you tune in to the rest of the games going on here in the bubble in the conference semifinals. We haven't even gotten a chance to see the Lakers and Rockets yet. That's coming up. Clippers and Nuggets finished off things. So all of these series are going to be exciting to watch. And we're going to be here in the bubble nonstop until the very end on the Hang Time Podcast. So I appreciate you joining us. Make sure you continue to tune in and listen out for some great stuff we'll have for you here on the podcast, taking you inside the bubble in the NBA playoffs.